Last time you saw this, we were getting the slide out in, getting ready to get that room slide out system. She went down, she came back, and now the cap's on the ground. Caps on the ground, caps go on your head, caps go on the front of the RV, but not right now. We had to take it off because we need to get that rubber to go underneath the cap, and by taking it off, it's gonna make it easier for us to put in that brand new, bigger generator. When it goes back up, we'll make sure to put a brand new windshield in because that one was broken. While we had the cap off, we found that this hydraulic pump was leaking, and now we gotta find out why while it's off, and it'll make that job a lot easier. You ever wonder what the inside of your RV looks like in the front of a standard Class A motorhome? Here's what you got. You got your overall hoop at the top. That's what's going to support the top of the roof. You got your framing, you got your wall, you got your skirt tying into the subframe. Here's your ducting. Now let's go take a look at what's going on inside. Last time you saw this, slide out had just came in. We had finished all the mock-up, but now she's starting to take shape. We came in, we started putting all the new decor panels up, giving that customer that fresh new look. We came back and added steel strapping in certain areas so that way when we put the walls up and the cabinets up, it's got something to bite into. We've relocated the rear air conditioner up towards the front so we can have them both blow into the ducting, feeding all through the vehicle. One of the other steps we've completed is we've installed test boards to figure out how the overall roof concept is really gonna play with the space. When we did that, we figured out we needed to build down the roof ducts and the lighting so that way we can kind of play with that design and make it look like it's supposed to be that way. And during the process, we've actually decided to cut out a gigantic hole for a roof deck. Yeah, a roof deck. And to do that roof deck, that duct used to go right here. We had to cut and modify the ducting to go all the way around and then connect back into where it used to go. And over here, we've recessed a little bit on the shower because right here, we're gonna put aluminum framed structure to help support the roof and give us a nice blocking for our ladder that's gonna mount and pull out so you can step up and get out to where the party's really gonna happen. One of the other things that we did by doing this overall roof layout, this customer wants to try to have this and this wall tie together, making room for that bonsai tree that's gonna go right here. One of the overall super simple tasks that we're gonna do on this vehicle is we're gonna make a gigantic tent that's gonna go on the outside, set up just in time for Burning Man. But to do that, you need room for like 12-foot poles that we don't even know how we're gonna do exactly, but we need room for poles so that way when we set up that tent, we have a nice place to put them. So right here, we've kind of thrown that into the concept. We have about 13 feet from this end wall to the end of the pantry, and we're gonna make a recessed nook up on the top of the slide out, giving them room to put all of those aluminum tubes. Over here is where we're gonna have 2 bunks. Down here at the bottom is gonna be pull-out drawers. We got all of our outlets, our 3-way switches, so that way when they get in the bunk, they can get in, turn the light on, turn the light off. Because over here, we're gonna do kind of like a sealed in wall, kind of giving them some privacy in the bunks with only like about a 20 to 30% entryway. We got the wires here for their little overhead TVs, so that way when they're hanging out, they can watch their TV. And while we were at it, we came up with a cool little way to give them their own little cubbies that are right at the foot of the bed. Just on the opposite side of those cubbies, this is where that built-in water cooler with hot, cold, and a built-in ice maker is gonna sit and live and look like it's supposed to be that way, followed by the cleaning area so you have your broom and your Swiffer and your cleaning supplies. That way when you're done partying, you can clean up. Right here, you're gonna have your fridge. Right here, you're gonna have your nice sized pantry straight across from the kitchen, giving you extra room to put all those things that you need to store. Over here, we're gonna have a 7-foot booth, finished off with a custom green velvet tufted cushions, complemented by a solid surface on the back with built-in USB fast chargers. And over on the forward side, we're gonna have a small area underneath it with a built-in refrigerator for those drinks. Over here, we've got our panel installed, we have our lights installed, And the way this customer wants to do it, we're gonna put grids kind of making this into sections. And then the front of this is gonna get finished off. We don't know exactly how we're gonna do it yet, but we're gonna find a way to blend a little bit of the roof on the walls and a little bit of the colors up here. And then over there, like I said, we're gonna have a built-in storage for those 12-foot aluminum tubes to set up that tent. We have the front bunk drop down so we could scrape off all of that ceiling, which we did throughout the whole vehicle. But over here in the front, we're doing a slightly different roof concept. We've ripped pine down to super thin veneer so we can overlay the top, give them that cool look. Over here, we've scraped off all of the vinyl, all of the foam on the ceiling, and from here all the way throughout the vehicle. But in the front, we've actually ripped down pine to extremely thin widths so we can overlay the front, giving them a totally different look right above the bed. That's what they want. Over here, we're gonna fold up our 4-panel divider that's gonna give the front bunk its own privacy. It's gonna go fold up when it's done, and when it's open, it's gonna have nice black staining and a custom cherry blossom insert, giving it that overall Japanese feel that this customer is really looking for. We're gonna have a flip-up TV. All of these wires are then gonna get relocated into the overhead and the lower kitchen cabinet. Over here, we're gonna have drawers because we have full height, because there's not a compartment right here. And that's one of those things that you can't really figure out what you're gonna do till you gut things in an RV and you find out, bam, you got an overall storage compartment right underneath your sink. So we're gonna make it work. Again, drawers here, sink here, stove's gonna be here, customer's gonna have a pull-up spice rack behind there, microwave's gonna go here, exhaust vent's gonna go here. All of these wires will get tucked up and put into place. We've got our decor panel wrapped onto this bend. In this half bath, we've found out we can rotate the toilet just a little bit, giving us that better seating area. We had to relocate the roof vent into the center of the room. We have a new concept of the overall construction of the overhead cabinets, tying into the cabinets that are down below. Over here is going to be that custom steam shower and regular shower area right here. Part of the other challenge of this build is we're making this slide out have a sink, and we need the room to be able to come in and out at a height that kind of matches the rest. And we have an engine over here. So there is going to be a step up into the bedroom and into the shower area, but we're gonna make it all the same height. We're gonna have a booth over here, overhead, a GoPro to get all of our time-lapse video that we're gonna show at the very end on how this whole project took shape. Make sure you check out that video in the future. So over here in the bedroom, this is gonna be the closet. We've actually cut this aluminum tube and reinforced this opening because we need to recess this area, giving this customer his overall over 6 feet for his bed. We took this panel out because in the beginning we were thinking about going up with a roof hatch over here, but that design kind of changed, went out the window because we thought it would work better in the middle, giving them better access, not going over the bed. Customer really liked that idea. So we're gonna have to go back and put that all back together. When we took that apart, we actually found that some of the ducting just wasn't installed as best as it could, or maybe it's vibrated loose, so it was a good thing we came in and we put all that back and taped it back into position. We've mocked up our overall concept of our overhead over here, giving him more storage above his bed. Over here in this area, we're gonna give him an auxiliary water tank, giving him a little bit of extra water for when he runs out. Over here, this is going to have blocking inside of this wall. That way we can mount the TV. This overall wall construction is going to be rebuilt to make it stronger to help support the roof. We're also going to add a stud that goes across, tying into that framing, giving also more support on that side of the roof as well. We're going to also add support inside the closet here, tying that frame into the sidewall, bracing the roof, tying all those pieces together, giving more support in this area as well. Now that we've talked about everything that's going on and underway inside the vehicle, let's go talk about what's happening on the roof. Over here on the roof, we got a lot going on. We got the roof AC removed from here, moved to the front. Like I said, over there, this is where we've had to redo the entire duct. So it goes from the front, goes around the roof hatch, back into all of the ducting in the bedroom. We've come back and we've added supports all along this edge to give more support on the roof. We've added more aluminum to the outside, giving it, when we put the platform for the roof deck, it's actually going to tie into this area, tying into the walls and tying into the overall construction of the roof. We've started overlaying the roof in the front, because when you do a rubber roof, a lot of times when you have all of these fibers and the imperfections of taking the roof off, you have to do an overlay. So we've done that in the front, and when we're all done and we've done everything we need to do in this area, we're going to continue that overlay all the way to the back. Now that we've talked about everything that's going on the roof, let's go take a look at that deck. Over here on the floor, we have our deck. We're going to construct it all out of aluminum. We've never done one of these before, so we're trying to blend everybody's opinion of how to make it strong and how to make it light. So we have an overall higher 2x6 tube on the outside perimeter. We have 1x3s going down the center. We have 1x3s going across, and then we have 1x1s going the opposite direction, trying to make sure we have as much support as we can. We've overlaid it with some perforated aluminum with some holes, and when we put it on there, we weren't really quite happy with the overall construction. We were concerned if any girls in high heels came up, wouldn't really like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave that as a back foundation, and we're gonna overlay it with some thin diamond plate on the top, giving it that finished look. 2 layers, extra strong, not gonna giving a nice solid foundation. Now, one of the other things that we're trying to do is we're actually gonna make pins and hinges to where this side folds down, that side folds down. When you come out of the roof hatch from over there, you're gonna be able to go right down the center, lift up one side, lift up the other side, lift up that side, lift up this side, and that way, once it's up and all put together, you have full surroundings, making sure you have fun and you're as safe as you can while you're doing it. This aluminum just arrived because not just are we gonna do a roof deck, they want us to build some crazy folding contraption to make an overall huge tent opening up into like a 10 by 12 area of blues and yellows and who knows what color. Nice Burning Man exterior tent. Now let's go back to the coach and show you where we're gonna put this stuff on. Over here on the outside of the passenger wall, we've got it marked out with tape where we're gonna install blocking so we could put our pivot points at the top, making it so we could have our C-channel and our tubes fold inside of each other and flip up and then flip down, and then attached to those tubes that I was talking about that's gonna go on top of the slide out. We got 30 days to get this cap, to get all of those things put back together just in time for Burning Man, so stay tuned and stay watching. See if we can make it on time. See what new problems we're gonna uncover when we put that steam generator in, or that generator in here in the front, or who knows what's gonna throw it our way. But you know what? With the pride and the craftsmanship we have here at Leisure Coachworks, we're gonna see it through. Don't forget to click on that bell to get notified. Like, follow, and subscribe. Or if you're in Fontana, California, stop on by.
It scared me. I was about to like
hit you with the... There's plenty of wood to hit you. We got it.
I recorded that.
Did you?
I did. Oh man, you got me.